Number 10. The origin of the name. Argentina's name is thought to have originated from the Latin word argentum, which means silver. This is because when Spanish conquistadors arrived in the territory in the 16th century, they were under the impression that the natives were using silver ornaments made by melting down silverware from European dishes. However, this was not entirely true. It was just the Spaniards who used their silverware to melt down ornaments for religious idols. But the name stuck, and the country has kept it ever since. 9. Early inhabitants. Before the Spanish showed up, the lands that would become Argentina were inhabited by several different indigenous tribes, including the Charrua, Guarania, and Inca. These tribes lived in the region for thousands of years before the Europeans arrived. Unfortunately, there is not much known about these people because they left no written records behind. But archaeologists are still able to learn about their daily life through the discovery of artifacts and other physical remains. For example, they have found evidence that the natives used primitive farming techniques to grow crops such as potatoes and maize. They also hunted local fauna, which included giant prehistoric beasts like the glyptodon and the megatherium. Number 8. The first Europeans. Although the Spanish were the first Europeans to claim Argentina, they were not the first to set foot on the land. That honor belongs to the Portuguese. In 1500, a Portuguese explorer named Ferdinand Magellan landed in Argentina while on his way to the Pacific Ocean. His crew stayed in the area for several weeks before continuing on their journey. Magellan was killed in a battle with the natives in the Philippines, but his crew returned to Europe with tales of their adventures in the New World. This marked the beginning of European awareness of Argentina's existence. 7. Spanish colonization. After the Portuguese made contact with Argentina, the Spanish were eager to explore and conquer the territory. In 1536, Spain established its first settlement in Argentina. However, due to conflicts with the natives and a lack of resources, the settlement was abandoned just a few years later. Not until 1580, when the Spanish crown granted a noble title to one of its governors, that the second settlement was founded. This settlement, however, was also short-lived, and it wasn't until the 1700s that the Spanish were able to establish a permanent colony in Argentina. The Spanish colonial government was based in Buenos Aires, and the colony was largely agricultural, with cattle ranching being the main economic activity. During the colonial period, Argentina also saw the introduction of African slaves, which would have a significant impact on the country's history and demographics. Number 6. The May Revolution. In the early 1800s, Argentina began to experience a growing sense of nationalism and a desire for independence from Spanish rule. This was part of a larger trend throughout Latin America known as the Hispanic American Wars of Independence. On May 25, 1810, a group of Argentine patriots led a revolt against the Spanish colonial government in Buenos Aires. This event, known as the May Revolution, resulted in the creation of a new government in Argentina and the Declaration of Independence from Spain in 1816. The revolution was led by a variety of individuals from different social classes, but some of the most important figures included Manuel Belgrano, José de San Martin, and Bernardino Rivadavia. 5. Rise to power. Following the May Revolution, Argentina became a republic and began to establish its place in the world. In the early years of its independence, the country faced a number of challenges, including internal conflicts and external threats from neighboring countries. However, Argentina was able to overcome these obstacles and emerged as a major player in South America. One of the key factors in Argentina's rise to power was its strategic location. Argentina is located at the southern tip of South America, which gave it control over important trade routes between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. This made Argentina an important stop for ships traveling between Europe and Asia, which brought wealth and prosperity to the country. Additionally, Argentina's vast natural resources, including its fertile soil and abundant wildlife, made it an attractive destination for settlers and businesses. This led to rapid population growth and economic development in the 19th century. Number 4, the Dirty War. During the late 20th century, Argentina experienced a period of political and social turmoil known as the Dirty War. This was a time when the country's military government carried out a campaign of state terrorism against its own citizens. The Dirty War began in 1976 when a group of military officers led a coup d'etat and overthrew the government. The new regime, known as the Last Process, was led by a junta of military leaders who ruled the country with an iron fist. One of the first things the junta did was to crack down on suspected dissidents and those who opposed the regime. Thousands of people were arrested, tortured, and disappeared without a trace. The junta also implemented a number of harsh economic policies that led to widespread poverty and discontent. As the situation in Argentina worsened, more and more people began to flee the country, many of them settling in neighboring countries such as Chile and Uruguay. The Dirty War lasted for 7 years, ending in 1983 when the junta was finally overthrown. 3. Return to democracy. After the end of the Dirty War, Argentina began to transition back to democracy. In 1983, the country held its first free and fair election since the military coup of 1976. However, the return to democracy was not without its challenges. In 1989, the country experienced a severe economic crisis that led to hyperinflation and massive unemployment. This crisis was caused by a variety of factors, including the legacy of the Dirty War, years of military rule, and a series of bad economic policies. Despite these challenges, Argentina was able to emerge from the crisis and continue its transition to democracy. In the years since then, the country has held numerous free and fair elections and has become a model of democratic governance in South America. Note 2. The present day. Today, Argentina is a major player on the world stage. The country is a member of the G20, a group of the world's leading economies, and has a strong economy with a GDP of nearly $600 billion. Argentina is also a cultural powerhouse, producing world-renowned artists, writers, and musicians. Some of the most famous Argentines include the writer Jorge Luis Borges, the footballer Lionel Messi, and the singer Carlos Gardel. Argentina is also home to some of the most stunning natural beauty in the world. The country's landscape ranges from the rugged Andes Mountains to the lush green Patagonia. Argentina is also home to some of the world's most amazing wildlife, including penguins, whales, and flamingos. The country's biodiversity makes it a popular destination for tourists from around the globe. Number 1, future prospects. The future of Argentina looks bright. The country has a young, vibrant population that is well-educated and entrepreneurial. Argentina is also a leader in technology and innovation, particularly in the fields of biotechnology and nanotechnology. The country is also home to some of the best universities in Latin America. Argentina's strategic location at the southern tip of South America also makes it an ideal hub for international trade and investment. The country is well positioned to take advantage of the growing economies of Asia and Africa, particularly in the areas of agriculture and energy. With its rich natural resources, Argentina has the potential to become a major player in the global market. The country's vast reserves of oil, gas, uranium, and lithium make it an attractive destination for foreign investors. Argentina is also investing heavily in renewable energy sources such as wind and solar power. These investments will help to diversify the country's energy production and reduce its dependence on fossil fuels. Overall, the future of Argentina looks promising. The country has the potential to become a major economic and technological powerhouse. With its young, educated population and vast natural resources, Argentina is well positioned to take advantage of the growing economies of Asia and Africa. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed learning about the history of Argentina. If you want to learn more about other countries, be sure to check out our other videos. Thanks for watching.